When you drive through Oklahoma, you see many fields just like this one, except this isn't your typical field. This is the training grounds for Paralympian and OSU alumna Cassie Mitchell. Mitchell grew up a talented athlete. However, at the age of 18, she received a life-changing diagnosis, forcing her to make a difficult decision: give up sports forever or learn to adapt. Mitchell chose the latter and hopes her decision inspires others to never give up.
That kind of mental fortitude was instilled in me very young. At no point did anyone just say, quit or just stay home or any of that. It was always encouraging me to live my life as if I was, quote, normal.
Growing up, Cassie Mitchell's normal looked different than her normal today.
I was probably a tomboy, grew up on a farm, really enjoyed being outside.
She took swimming at a very early age. She's always been an athlete, always.
Before I was paralyzed, track was my predominant, what I was best at. I did also play basketball in high school, but track was my primary sport.
Mitchell's medical issues began when she was 12 and started experiencing double vision. Over the next 6 years, she didn't realize her health was slowly deteriorating. Then, everything changed rapidly overnight.
Right before my 18th birthday, I went to bed with a low-grade fever and a headache, and I woke up the next day and I couldn't move.
She didn't scream or anything like that, but she said something's wrong.
I remember kind of getting my legs off the bed and situating myself. I'm gonna pull myself up with a lamp table and see if I can, kind of walk it off. I didn't. I just collapsed because I was already paralyzed.
Mitchell was diagnosed with neuromyelitis optica, a rare central nervous system disorder that causes inflammation in the nerves of the eye and spinal cord.
As the demyelination spread, then it went further and further up my body. And so that, I never walked after that. I never stood after that. So it was a very drastic change very quickly.
I wish that they would have diagnosed it a lot earlier and caught it, and maybe it wouldn't be as bad as what it turned out to be. But I realize that that can't be changed.
My doctor basically said that, you're going to be in a wheelchair. And so I just made this choice that I wasn't going to put my life on hold. And that's exactly what I told my doctor and what I told my parents. I'm not going to put my life on hold.
Shortly after her diagnosis, Mitchell left home for her freshman year at Oklahoma State. While there, she was recruited for the wheelchair basketball team. She would go on to earn All-American honors and an alternate spot on the 2004 Paralympic team before her disease progressed.
My goal after I completed my career at Oklahoma State in 2004 was to compete internationally. I wanted to be able to pursue something that I could potentially go to the Olympics in.
This led Mitchell to the sport of cycling.
I thought I was going to be going to London 2012 and cycling, but there was a last-minute change, and I was again the most disabled classification, and that classification got pulled from the program.
She wasn't going to be able to do the cycling, and that they were having a track and field meet in Chula Vista, California. And she said, if I don't go to that, you have to be able to compete in one event before you can even be considered. And her goal was to be on the Olympics. And we competed in our first track and field there at Chula Vista before she was named to the team.
Mitchell made her Paralympic debut in the London 2012 Games. 4 years later, she received another diagnosis, putting her status for Rio in question.
March of 2016, I was in really heavy training. I was just drained. And I thought maybe I was just overtraining. And then all of a sudden, over the span of about a week, what muscles that I had were just wasting away.
Her face was blue, her lips were blue. She didn't have enough of the oxygen in the cells.
It turned out that I had leukemia, myeloid leukemia, and it was pretty aggressive. Everyone was thinking, there's no way that you're going to go to the Olympics when you just got diagnosed with cancer. And I just was determined that gave me something to fight for. And yes, I'm fighting cancer, but the way I'm gonna stick it to cancer is by getting to Rio.
Mitchell not only competed in the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games, she won her first 2 of 3 medals, the third coming in Tokyo 2020. With her mom for a coach,
Well, that was nice.
Mitchell is currently training for the 2024 Paris Games this summer, hoping to win the 1 medal she is missing.
Any athlete who tells you that their goal is anything other than gold is not being truthful, all right? The goal is always gold, all right? And because you don't train to be second place.
Of course, she wants a gold medal. That's the one thing that keeps her going right now, because she's achieved these other things, but she wants that gold medal.
I have this little sign that says, never, never, never give up. Having the faith and perseverance to not give up, I think, will get you a long way in life.